Good morning. Good morning. Look at all these lovely faces.
Morning, everyone.
Welcome. Big Sean, Scott, you guys, how are you doing? Janet, Victoria, pleasure, pleasure. Thank you guys for jumping on this morning. Got a nice group coming in, and we got a stud we're talking to this morning. So I'm fired up all you guys are here. Brian, I saw you just jump in, my friend. How you doing, buddy?
Doing great, man. How are you?
For a
We're doing
second.
awesome, man. We sincerely appreciate your time this morning.
Oh, my
Kelly, I've
pleasure.
given you permission to continue to let him in. Let's kick this thing off. I'll give you guys a little intro about Brian here in a minute, but since this recording's on, we're going to start right now. Good morning, Freedom Team. Hope everybody had a wonderful weekend, you guys. Thanks for everybody showing up here. It's January. Let's keep the momentum going. This isn't a gym membership. You don't show up in January and start to fade away in February.
Okay,
If
wait
you're
a minute,
looking to
boys.
attract, show up to these every Monday. We have people like Brian you're going to hear from that are big attractors, huge groups. This guy has well over 400 agents in his group. So you're going to definitely have people that you can learn from in a big, big way. So let me give you his background real quick. This is a little mind-boggling. Listen to this, and you're gonna want to focus into Brian. Brian has sold more than 3,500 homes in his career. He has been ranked in the top 10 for a major real estate franchise for more than 140,000 agents, 7 consecutive years, and twice ranked at number 2 in the world. During his illustrious
Nice.
career, Brian sold more than 400 homes annually, producing sales volume in excess of 100 million and making over 3 million per year in commission income. In his best month, Brian recorded more than 60 sales and generated over 400,000 in commission income. Yes, you read that correctly, in a single month. Today, Brian is a sought after speaker, moderator, panelist, and an industry expert throughout the US, Canada, and Europe, delivering his message and distinctions with agents and industry professionals to help accelerate their income and productivity. So you got a guy right here. This is a well, right? And he's doing it not only in production, he's doing it on attraction. So Brian, we are humble, brother. I did not
Oh,
know that was your background till you sent that to me. And that's like unreal. So thank you for your time. I'm sure
my
you're going to pull
pleasure.
that from everybody in EXP. So why don't we start off? We got a nice group this morning. Again, thank you guys for showing up. And Brian, anything else you want to kind of add to that, just about you personally, family, anything before we just kind of jump into business here?
Well, I appreciate it, Sean. First of all, thank you, everybody, for taking the time to come on. And I promise to give you everything I've got to add some value and make an impact in your life. Most important to me is I'm a husband, a father, and a family man. And that's been a priority. I have two beautiful kids. One is a fertility miracle. We weren't supposed to have kids, and the other one we adopted from China.
Mm,
So over the last 23 years, despite that production and hours spent to produce those types of results, I made my family first, and you can too. You can make your family first. There's two worlds that we live in. One is the reported world. That's the world that we see based on the environment that we're in, the news reports that we hear, and much of our environment actually pulls us down. We got to be conscious and put ourselves in a better environment to be stretched, to see alternatives. I wasn't always a good salesperson, Sean. And I struggled for 5 years. And my father said to me, "Why are you going to all these seminars and listening to all these people who haven't sold real estate? Why don't you find somebody who's getting the results you want and go listen to them?" I said, that makes sense. I went to Grand Rapids, Michigan, and shadowed this guy who listed 17 homes in a week. That stretched my paradigm. That showed me that it's possible. You guys, if you're interested in attraction, you probably know Brent Gove. You probably know Jay Kinder, Cliff Freeman, Al Stasek, John Meekish, Lars
mm,
Hedenberg. All of these guys I coached at some point in my life, which I'm really proud of. And now they're coaching me in revenue share. Like, I was coaching them on how to get their production up. I know how to sell real estate with my eyes closed and my hands tied behind my back. So, If you need lead generation, systems for conversion, buyer and seller presentations, I'm your guy. But what I can share with you today on the areas of attraction are some of the mistakes I've made so that you don't make them, some of the best practices that I've implemented. And
Mm.
there's an old saying, success leaves clues. And, Sean and I are doing this co-sponsorship thing with Jay Kinder. And if you do what Jay does, you'll get similar results. If you do what if you don't have 400 people in your organization and you'd like to have 400 plus people in your organization, do what I do and it'll move you in that direction. And it's important too that there's a journey and a process. So if we were at the gym, and I'll shut up after this and let you ask questions, but you just wind me up and I'll go. If we were at the gym and we were with Arnold Schwarzenegger and we were trying to get in shape and it was our first day at the gym, or maybe we've been at the gym for a little bit, we're in novice, and we see Arnold Schwarzenegger benching 500 pounds for reps. Would it make sense for you to put 500 pounds on a barbell and try to do that?
No.
So we look at Brent, we look at Jay Kinder, we look at these whales, and we try to do what they do. It doesn't make sense. There's a path to get there. There's a journey to get there. So, and really it's put one foot in front of the other and reach out to people and make a difference. So that's what that's what I'll add.
Love it. Thank you. Thank you. Well, let me ask you this. You are a well, and obviously you coached all those other wells. So I'm going to make you the superior well. How were you approached with the XP, and what is it that really made you move over? Because obviously you could go anywhere, and I'd imagine a ton are going to follow you. Why here? So everybody understands.
So after I peaked selling real estate, I live in New Hampshire. And I was with Coldwell Banker. That was the major real estate franchise. All of you have heard of it. Big organization. And twice I was the #2 agent in the world for Coldwell Banker in New Hampshire. Not in Dallas, not in Miami, not in Beverly Hills. So I know how to sell real estate at a high level. It didn't challenge me anymore. I wasn't feeling fulfilled. And I wanted to coach and train and speak and share those distinctions with other agents. So I got out of real estate to go all in coaching. Let my license lapse. And for 10 years, I'm making a great living coaching. Life is good. And people start reaching out to me about EXP. And I go, no thanks, not interested, not interested, not interested. And we can do an autopsy on what everybody did that was wrong, which I think would be beneficial. Because I had a belief, and everybody that you speak to has a belief. But a belief really is a feeling of certainty about something, and it's not necessarily true. So I had a belief that EXP was another real estate company. And why would I get involved in real estate? I don't even want to sell real estate. Well, there's some other benefits. And I'm like, no, I've been there, done that. I thought it had to do with sales. And nobody got me to look at not selling real estate. I just assumed stupidly, and everybody makes assumptions. So when people make assumptions, here's a great one-liner. Is it possible you're misinformed? Is it possible that you've been misinformed? Is it possible that someone didn't explain it to you properly? Those were the two lines that actually got me to look at the opportunity. Is it possible that you don't know everything that there is to know about this opportunity? So yeah, I suppose that's possible. Well, let me show you what I want to show you. And if it's no, then you can still say no, but don't say no if you don't know what you're saying no to. is what got me over the hump. So those will be some good liners when you engage or meet with somebody who says, I'm all set, I'm good, it's a Ponzi scheme, it's a pyramid, whatever they tell you. Is it
Hmm.
possible you're misinformed? Is it possible that you've been misguided? Because when you say, is it possible? What's the answer, everybody? Of
Yeah.
course, it's possible. And it opens up the door just enough for you to penetrate through the door. So, to answer your question, I got pitched EXP by everybody and their brother for 5 years. I got tired of it. It was obnoxious. I was one of those people that had friends who pitched me EXP, and I would ghost them and I wouldn't take their calls anymore. People that I love and like and respect, I'm like, oh, you're just calling me about getting me, you want me to hang my license. And I didn't know anything about it. This also will serve you. A guy that I coached, his name is Dennis D'Souza. He's in La Jolla, California. And when I coached Dennis, he was with Remax and he became the number one Remax team in all of California. The kid was a go-getter. He was ambitious, a good student. We became good friends. He calls me and he goes, hey, I'm sure that you've been approached a million times about EXP. And I'm like, Dennis, please, no. Please, I'm begging you, no. And he'd weave it in a little bit. And, after a couple of years of not being obnoxious, of not being aggressive, but just, taking my temperature, so to speak, I said, no, no, Dennis, why would I want to leave what I already have? I'm making great money doing what I'm doing. And he said, Brian, damn it, I love you. I love you. You changed my life, and I can change yours. And you're so freaking arrogant and egotistical that you're saying no to something you don't know what you're saying no to. I care about you. I need you to look at this. And if you look at it and you tell me no, I will go into the abyss. But because he said, I love you and I care about you, I'm like, huh. So he introduced me to a guy in New Hampshire, where I live, named Dave Gagnon. Dave Gagnon knew of me and knew of my sales production and knew of my reputation. And he got Dave to meet me for breakfast. And I was reluctant. I almost canceled, but I ended up going. And when Dave presented the rev share opportunity to me, my brain goes, holy shit, I got to go back and get my real estate license. I have to do this. This is life changing. Because what Dave helped me understand is, I've owned a lot of real estate assets. You put 20% down into a building, you have vacancy, you have deferred maintenance, you have depreciation, you have people that don't pay their rents. And maybe you make, if you're killing it, maybe you make a couple thousand a month, 3,000, 5,000 a month. Not going to change your life. All that risk, all that effort, all that energy. And then, I didn't think that $2,000 or $3,000 would make a big difference in my life. But I'll tell you, when I first hit $3,000 in revenue share in a month, it got my attention because I never, ever, ever experienced anything in my life where the margins were so good, meaning I didn't do shit and I made $3,000, $36,000 a year. So that was my story about how I got introduced to EXP. Dennis D'Souza is my great friend. I'm forever grateful for him showing me the opportunity. I feel blessed and privileged, and I've met so many great, great people at this company, and it's real. It's the real deal. I'm making about 30,000 a month in rev share right now. $360,000 a year mailbox money.
Hmm.
Now, for me, and you might be like, holy shit. Well, we all know people who are making $300,000 a month, $500,000 a month. And it's like, wow. Well, how do you climb Mount Everest?
Hmm.
One step at a time. You got to get to 1,000 a month, and then 1,500 a month, 2,000 a month. And it'll start to take off. And I'm very, very grateful. The other thing I'll say is I have goals, just like I did selling real estate.
Hmm.
You need to have goals. You need to know what your number is. And we all have a comfort zone. And my number is not comfortable. It's a big number.
Hmm.
It's not a Brent Gove number. My brain can't comprehend that yet. I don't need or want Brent Gove money. Yeah, it'd be nice, but if it's not a must for you, you won't do what is required to get there. So I'm just looking kind of like somebody who runs a marathon, Sean. What's my next mile marker? Okay, I'm at 400 now. My next number is 1,000. I want to get to 1,000. Can I get to 1,000? When I get to 1,000, I want to get to 1,500, 2,000.
Hmm.
My number right now is 5,000 people in my organization. And, unfortunately, I'm on coaching calls unfortunately, I'm blessed and I love what I do, but I'm on coaching calls all day long, every day. I love it. So the availability, which is a paradox, I don't have a lot of time for rev share. So I've made what I've made really less than part time, but it is intentional. And whether it's 1 hour a week, 2 hours a week, 5 hours a week, it's purposeful, it's disciplined, and I show up and I execute my plan to grow my organization and impact people's lives in a positive way. And compounded, consistent actions. Are you all familiar with Darren Hardy?
Yeah.
The compound effect, right? So if you eat McDonald's every day for the next 5 years, conversely, if you eat salads every day and healthy for the next 5 years, in a week or in a month, you're not even going to know the difference. In a quarter, you might not know the difference. You might gain 5, 10 pounds. But over 5 years, you'll be 700 pounds. You'll be obese.
Hmm.
So we have unrealistic expectations, and I'm all about dreaming big and not having realistic goals. My goals are unrealistic. My long-term goals are unrealistic. You need to think big. My annual goals are realistic. So I don't know if that makes sense. I don't set realistic goals long term. 5,000 people is not a realistic goal. People will go, there's only a handful of people in all of EXP that have 5,000 people. Yep, and I'm going to be one of them. How are you going to do that? I'm going to be the number one agent in the world for Caldwell Banker. How are you going to do that? I have no freaking idea how I'm going to do it. You don't need to know how. You need to decide. You need to claim it. You need to put it out there. You need to put it on a vision board. You need to put it in writing.
Yeah.
And then you just move one step in front of the next. And it hasn't been easy. I mean, I've been working somebody for 3 years. They independent company in Rhode Island, 380 agents. That would change your life, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah.
And calls with corporate, hundreds of hours spent with this guy, and he goes, I'm sorry, I'm just not going to do it. It happens. But no today doesn't mean no tomorrow. So I tend to go off, Sean.
It's all good stuff. Let me say something that just for everybody here, and I appreciate you guys showing up, and I hope this happens every Monday morning. One of the things I want to say to all you guys is he's throwing out some big numbers, and some of you guys are going, okay, I haven't attracted a person, or I've got three on my team. I've been here 2 years. Baby steps, consistency, and the one thing we show on Thursdays If all you guys did right now, if you're here for the first time, you made a purpose, 5 outbound calls a day to agents you know, and you'd maybe posted or commented on 5 different social posts a day. That's it. You would do it in less than a half hour a day. But if you did that every day, showed back up to Monday, Thursday, began to get better, understood maybe how to approach and the things you could say, the questions you could ask. I just want to make sure you're not overwhelmed because he's throwing out huge numbers on what he's accomplished and he's a well. And you might be thinking,
Well, I
well,
haven't
yeah, you
accomplished it yet. I haven't accomplished 5,000, right? I think you need to dream big, but I also think you need to put one foot in front of the other, right? You
yep,
see, if you go, well, I just want to get one person, I can do that in 5 months. I think you need to have a bigger goal so that you'll make those 5 calls this week. You'll make 5 calls next week. You know that you're going to get to the, you're driving across the country, you're trying to get to California. That's a big goal, a cross-country trip from Boston to California. Well, you need to know that you need to head west, and there's a bunch of mile markers along the way. So, what would be a freedom number for you that if you were making this passively, it would change your life? Write that number down and get associated with that number. Now, that's not going to happen next month, next quarter, or this year. That's a bigger number. It's going to take 3 to 5 years to get there. I think we need to reverse engineer it. You're 100% spot on. You need to make 5 calls a week. Comment on 5 social media posts. Engage in people. Pay attention to people. Lift their up. Become a spirit lifter. Make people feel better. People don't remember what you said, how smart you are. They remember that you care and that they remember how you made them feel. Make people feel better. Go out of your way to make people feel better. And do that consistently and you'll hit your number. So even if you've got nobody, if you're brand new to EXP, go, you know what? I'd love to make 50 grand a year, 20 grand a year. Whatever the number is, start with that. And because you get associated with that and why you want that number, why do you want to make 20 grand a year? Why do you want to make 30 grand a year? Well, because I don't like the roller coaster of real estate income. And if I have a bad month, it'd be nice to know that I got $3,000 coming in that'll cover my mortgage. That's the why. I worked with Tony Robbins. This is important. I wasn't planning on saying this, but he talks about the 3 S's. They're critical to success, whatever your definition of success is for you. And to me, success is not comparing yourself to somebody else. It's comparing yourself to what you want to accomplish. How are you progressing? So I feel successful because I'm pursuing my goals every day. But there's 3 S's that are critical for you to reach your level of success, whatever that is. We need strategies. Okay, how do you do it? Strategies. We need a compelling story. I'll talk about that in a second. And we need state, S-T-A-T-E, state, emotional state. An emotional state can be ambition. It could also be lazy. You need, which is going to serve you better, to be ambitious or to be lazy, to be hungry or to be satisfied. So we need to control our state. Now, Tony talks about the order and sequence of these S's is absolutely paramount. You could do the right thing at the wrong time and have catastrophic results. And most people, as a coach, go, how do you do it? Like, how? Well, that's a great question, and there's a million ways to attract. Sean gave you a couple. Talk to 5 people a week. Engage in social media. Those are 2 ways. How many other ways do you think there are to attract? You could do webinars. You could do events. You could do co-spawn. There's a million ways. And we don't even need to know all of them. But most people go, okay, how? And we get paralysis by analysis. The order is like a combination lock. Imagine I had a combination lock here and it was 3 digits and the digits were 6, 9, 4. Could you open the lock? I'm giving you the number. The numbers to the lock are 6, 9, 4. You won't be able to open the lock because that's not the sequence of the numbers. The sequence of the numbers are 4, 9, 6. So if you do 6, 9, 4, everybody understand the lock isn't going to open? So if you have the 3 S's, but you don't put them in the right order, the lock won't open. You won't reach the destination that you want. So the first S is state. You need to be in an emotional state that is confident, optimistic, hopeful, excited. You need to work on managing your state. And there's a lot of great coaches that can help you do that. If you're feeling frustrated, discouraged, worried, stressed, you got to fix that before you worry about the how, because you could do all the right strategies. But if I show up to Sean and he's a target and I go, hi, Sean, I saw you. I saw you watching the football game yesterday. How you doing today? If I'm in a shitty state, this isn't going to go very well. Does everybody follow me? So you got to manage your state. That's number one. Number two is the story. Why are you going to make 5 calls every week? Why? If you don't have a strong story, if you're not obsessed, you won't do it. There's a couple of things I can give you about a story. Imagine 2 skyscrapers. Everybody ever see that guy who just climbed the Taiwan Tower? 101 stories. Made me sick to my stomach. But imagine we're in New York City and Sean, do we go to 11:30 or 12?
12.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
got
So
32 minutes. You're
I'll
good.
tell you these 2 distinctions and then I'll answer questions. Imagine 2 50-foot, 50-story skyscrapers in New York City, 100 feet apart, one on one block, one on the other block. And I put a 2 by 12 across the top of them. And we're up on the roof, Kathy, Kelly, Scott, and Janet, Lydia. We're up on the roof. And I go, hey, Lydia, I'll give you $10,000 if you'll walk across to the other building on the 2 by 12. Is anybody going to take me up on that offer? Nope. But what if the person, your family, your loved ones, the people you love the most are on the other building and it's burning and they need your help? How many of you would go and not even bat an eyelash? That's the power of having a story. So you really need to get associated with why are you doing this? I'll tell you my story. I'm doing this so I never have to ask my checkbook for permission ever again. I'm doing this because whatever your belief is in God, the universe, the higher power, they put in front of me an opportunity, and it would be wasteful for me to not take advantage of it. The good that I can do with the wealth that I'm going to create is part of my story. I'll tell you one last thing and then I'll shut up and let you ask some questions. My son shared this with me the other day. We can get results. Discipline produces results. How many of you think we need to be disciplined?
Oh, yeah.
Got to be disciplined, right? Got to do it. Discipline is doing it when you don't want to do it. That's discipline. But when you do it, you get results. So discipline produces results. But you didn't want to do it. You didn't enjoy it. You forced yourself through it. Motivation is you want to do it and you do it. And because you do it, you also get results. So motivation is better than discipline And your why will start to give you some motivation. The third one is obsession. Obsession is there's no way I'm not doing this. There's no way I'm not doing this. There's no way I'm missing a Monday call with Sean. No way. I'm obsessed with it. I've drawn the line in the sand. I'm obsessed. It's stronger than motivation. Not only do you want to do it, you would die if you didn't do it. So if you can play mental gymnastics with yourself, get yourself in a good state, come up with a really good story, you'll figure it out. You'll come up with all the strategies. Some will work better than others. Some won't work at all. You'll adjust because you're obsessed. And I'm obsessed. Brent Gove is obsessed. Jay Kinder is obsessed. It's not discipline. If you ask Jay Kinder, is it really hard for you to get on all these calls and do all these three-way calls every day? He'll be like, dude, I love it. I'm changing lives. I'm obsessed. That's the secret sauce. If you can get obsessed, my son played college football. He was obsessed with wanting to play college football. That's how he made it to play Division I. Obsessed. Discipline will only get you so far, and it sucks. It's miserable. I don't like discipline. I want it to pull me.
Yeah.
Hope that helps.
That's awesome. I added down here for some of you, if you've never seen it, Simon Sinek, Start with Why. Yeah, you got to dig deep. I always say this, right? We all do things for two reasons, right? For either more pleasure or to avoid pain. I'm definitely the avoid pain, and I think most people are. If you've ever been, maybe you're in pain right now, and maybe you're like tired and you're not getting the results and you're having trouble even covering your bills, whatever that is, the pain's got to be deep enough. I just want you to know what you're looking at today can change everything about your entire life. And I love what you said, because once the money's there, now you can do incredible things to give back and impact people and organizations and all that. So again, this isn't for me. So let me go back to here. Instead of me continuing to ask questions right now, I thank you for opening it up for everybody. You've got a coach here also, and we can minimize this and just go down. He's talking very big. You got to have vision. You got to set those goals. But then it comes down to daily disciplines. What would you like to ask right now? If Brian was your coach, you want to start attraction today, ask this gentleman, whatever it is, how do we get started? What would you do if you were starting over? Feel free, everybody, to ask any kind of questions. You've got a powerful gentleman here that would be more than happy to help answer questions. Anybody, don't be shy.
I got a
Come on,
quote.
Sean. Here we go. There we go, Melvin. Come on, my friend. Uh-oh, you're frozen.
Yeah. Can you
There
hear
you
me?
go. Yeah, we
Hi,
got you, buddy.
Melvin.
Hi, Brian. Thank you for sharing. I must have missed what number of agents you have in the team.
Oh, how many he's got? 452 and 31
Yeah.
FLAs.
Wow, great. And that's 30. Excellent. Thank you very much.
You bet.
Well, then, if no one's going to ask,
I'll ask.
go ahead.
Brian, in terms of your approach, as you have obviously a lot of connections in real estate, and what is your approach as you talk to them for the very first time about the opportunity?
Great question. So it's never about the opportunity. It's I want to be a spirit lifter. So I'm going to find something who's people's favorite subject?
Them.
Themselves, right? So it's really easy to find something about themselves that you can talk about so that you engage them in a conversation. So my first introduction, might be, and if you don't have a lot of context, it doesn't mean that you can't be the next Brent Gove if you choose to be. You could go on to Zillow Premier, because Zillow Premier agents are spending thousands of dollars in advertising every single month. And you could go, hey, I saw you on Zillow Premier, and you seem to be killing it in Idaho. Man, it looks like you're doing a great job. I'm in New Hampshire and you have a conversation with them, but once you get people talking about themselves, they start to unwind. The next thing that I do, Kelly, is I understand that people have already been pitched, probably heard about EXP, and have some false beliefs. Can we all agree with that? That the reason they're not here is a belief, a limiting belief. Do you know that there are people who believe the world is flat? There are people who believe the world is flat. There are people who don't believe in God or the universe or vibrations or karma. I have different experiences. But regardless, it's a feeling of certainty about something. So if you start talking about EXP, and sometimes they'll know, they'll go, hey, you're with EXP. I don't want to talk about EXP. You brought it up. I didn't. I'm not talking about EXP. Did I bring it up? I don't bring it up. But I go, hey, Kelly, you're with Caldwell Banker. You're with Remax. You're with Century 21. You're a Zillow Premier agent. You could be with anybody. You're a badass agent. You're a rock star. I'm curious why you chose Remax. And let them tell you. Well, I like my broker. I like the people. I've been here 20 years. I have a beautiful office. Just listen. So my first question is lift their spirit up, pay them a compliment, then pay them another compliment. Hey, you could be with anybody. Why'd you choose Remax? Why'd you choose Keller Williams? I'm curious. And it doesn't matter what they say, just listen. And then I like to create doubt. So how you collapse a belief, I gave you one liner earlier, not to be used in this moment, but how I collapse a belief is it possible you've been misinformed? That collapses a belief. Maybe. So how I collapse a belief when I'm talking to a brand new targeted prospect is I say, I listen to what they love about their company. So are they going to tell me they love that their broker gives them deals? Are they ever going to say that? Probably not. Are they ever? So I've been at Caldwell Banker, Century 21, Remax, Keller Williams. I've owned my own company. I know how it is out there, right? It's 100% on your back, isn't it, to produce, Kelly? Right? Your success is on your back and you're on a split. So I came up with 4 or 5 things that I can say, depending on how they answered what they like about their company. So it goes like this. It goes, you mentioned you like your broker, you like your office space, you like the proximity to downtown, you have a boutique shop on Rodeo Drive. It doesn't matter what they say. They're going to give you nothing that EXP has. So I'm going to say, you didn't mention splits or caps. So do you love your split? Well, it's pretty good. Do you have a cap? No, I don't have a cap. Well, yeah, I talked to somebody, they don't have a cap, and we don't want to go pitching. We just want to gather information and create doubt. Do you love your split and cap? Oh, it's pretty good. I suppose I could get better elsewhere. Well, let me ask you, Kelly, if your broker gave you a raise, gave you a lower cap, and gave you a higher split, would you take it or would you tell him no? I'd take it. Now, that's 1. Then I go to 2. Then I go to 3. Then I go to 4. Then I go to 5. I do 5 collapsings of their belief. So 1 is splits and caps. 2 is production. Kelly, you didn't mention that you love that your broker's giving you 5 deals every month. Are you getting production? Of all of your 40 deals last year, how many of them were given to you by your company? What do you guys think the answer is? They didn't give me any. Now watch this. Sean said people are motivated by 2 things, pain and pleasure, right? To avoid pain. So watch how I turn the knife in him and I twist. So I go, How many deals did your broker give you last year? And they go, none. I did it all myself. And I stick a knife in them with this question. I go, huh, really? They gave you none? And I really cement that in their brain. You're at a company that gave you no deals. They didn't do anything to help you increase your production. So I just go, huh. The third thing, Kelly, is Remax or Keller Williams paying any of your bills? Are they paying for your CRM or is that on you? Are they paying for any of your lead gen or is that on you? No, it's all on me. Are they paying for your health insurance or is that on you? Have they negotiated any deals or any savings on your behalf? What's the answer, Kelly? No. So now I've got A, B, C, and I'm like, huh. I go, what about equity? You've been at Remax for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. How much equity have you earned in that company? If your broker sold the company tomorrow, how much would you get? What's the answer, Kelly? Nothing. Huh. So I go, if you worked for Motorola, General Motors, AT&T, the police department, the local hospital, and you put 20 years in, would you have any equity built up? Would you have any retirement plans? But you don't have anything at Remax? No, I don't. Huh. Okay. So then the last one is, other than listing and selling, Kelly, do you have any other sources of income? So I reference revenue share as other sources of income. I don't call it revenue share initially. I go, do you have any other sources of income? Meaning if you have a bad month and you don't sell anything, do you have any other ways to put food on the table? Huh. Okay, so what I'm doing, gang, is I'm taking understand that when you reach out to somebody, they are in a positive place in their mind. Hey, life is good, and people don't like change. So we have to show them that life is not good. If you just go, hey, you're at Remax, EXP is better. You're trying to take them from good to better. It'll never work. It won't work. I got to take them from good in their mind to actually, it's not so good. So I take them from what their brain thinks is I'm in a good place to I'm not in a good place. I just gave 5 things that their brain is going shit, 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 shit. Now I can say, if I could show you how you could make more money, have other sources of income, reduce your overhead and expenses, and even earn some equity over time, would you be open to hearing more?
Hmm.
They're not going to say, I'm all set, because they don't have that, and you've exposed it. So they'll go, yeah, I'd be open to hearing more, but I really like it. Why are you in business in the first place? Yeah, I'm really loyal to my broker. I understand that. If you're so loyal to your broker, why don't you reduce your expenses, make more money with a better split, a better cap, have some other sources of income, and if you want to write a check to your broker every month with the savings and the money that you're making, go ahead and do that. That's your prerogative. And they're like, well, I'm not doing that. Hey, I got a suggestion. Why don't we get together and we can talk more about it? No pressure. So that's what I do. Create doubt.
That was awesome. Everybody here, real quick. First of all, thank you for all that, Brian. That was some phenomenal coaching you guys just got for free on a Monday morning. For those that don't know, Kelly takes some phenomenal notes. Obviously, AI could be in here recording, but I'm going to take those notes that Kelly's making today and I'm going to put them on our Facebook group. If you're not a part of our Facebook group, please join that. If somebody, Kathy, somebody could throw the link in there. Anyway, great stuff. That really was, man. You've got me fired up to get back on the phone to be engaging and asking those kind of questions. That was awesome. Thank you, Brian. Other
Here's a
questions,
bonus
guys?
too. So
Man,
after you've taken them to, would you be open to more? You could actually, before you say, would you be open to more? Right after you say, so you don't have this, you don't have splits and caps. You don't have a better split and cap. You don't have other sources of income. You don't have equity. You don't have savings. You don't have them helping you with production. If so, we can stack it. Let me insert one more piece to future pace them. So, Sean, if nothing changes over the next 5 years and you stay where you're at, you have the same deal that you currently have, what does life look like for you 5 years from now?
much different.
So if you stay at Remax and you keep the same split and cap that you have, you don't have any equity, you don't have any savings, you got to pay for everything. You're doing all the production yourself. 5 years from now, where will you be?
Same position. Same
Same
thing.
position. Is that what you want? Do you want to be in the same position 5 years from now?
No, I want to grow.
So now I can say, would you be open to hearing how you can have all of these things? So I can actually stack the future by asking them, by future pacing them. Does everybody understand what I'm talking about? And it's not going to go perfect the first time. You're going to skip a step, but become obsessed to master it. How many of you think I know what to say to a buyer when a buyer inquires on a sign call? Or when a seller was referred to me about selling their home, but they're interviewing 5 agents? Who thinks I know what to say? I didn't when I got in the business. I was obsessed. I wanted to be the best in the world. So I practiced. It wasn't pretty, but now it's pretty. Sometimes they say it's hard until it isn't. And it's hard. If you're new to EXP, agent attraction is challenging. It's hard until it isn't, but it's a skill, and skills can be learned. And when you're doing the right thing by surrounding yourself with Sean and putting yourself in an environment that is working on skill development every week. And if you show up on these calls with Sean every Monday, who thinks that a year from now you're going to be a whole lot better than you were right now? So become obsessed.
Brian, that was great stuff. I have a question, but one thing I heard the other day that I think is a good question for understanding what their pain level is if you can wave a magic wand in your business and change one thing, what would that be? Right? It just helps uncover, what.
Yeah, it's a good question. It's not a great question from my perspective because most people have never really given it much thought and they don't know what they would change. They don't know we don't know what we don't know. So in a big mistake in sales is, do you have any questions? They don't have any questions because they don't know what questions to ask.
Yeah.
So you got to be careful. You may want to menu it for them, like I just did. So if you gave them some 5 things to choose from, which of those, if you had a magic wand, would speak to you better? A better split, a better cap? Nah, I'm actually pretty good. How about equity? Ooh, I like equity. Maybe the magic wand is equity. So I think I like the question. It's a good question. But it could be a way better question, Kathy, if you Chinese menu it for them. You know, when you go to a Chinese restaurant and it says, do you want the spare ribs, the chicken wings, the egg rolls? No, I don't like egg rolls. So I want teriyaki, chicken, spare ribs. I'll take B, right?
Yeah.
That's the way to do it. And by the
That's
way,
great. I love the menuing of that. Yeah. So I'm glad you came back and said it was a good question because you first told me it's a crappy question. But anyway,
no, it's a good question.
I'm giving
Something
you
is
a hard
better than nothing. Something is always better than nothing,
Yeah.
but over time you'll learn what's better and what's better and what's
Yeah.
better.
Yeah. I love the menuing. So the question I have is, so once you get somebody to be like, okay, yes, you've given me a lot to think about. I'm open to taking a look at EXP. What is it that you are leading them to? What are you showing them? Who's showing them for you if you're not the one? What are you doing there?
So I'm redoing my system, but what I've done up until now is I'd say, so they go, yeah, tell me about this. Can't do it right now. There's real power in the takeaway. People want what they can't have. So intentionally, purposefully, part of my plan is I get them excited about learning more. And then I go, can't do it right now. Got your calendar handy. Let's schedule a time.
Hmm.
And they're like, can we do it now? No, I got other appointments. I got to pick up my kids or whatever the case may be. I can't do it now. So let it build up. It's like pulling a slingshot back. The farther you pull it back, the farther the marble goes. So don't pounce. Let it marinate. Let it build up.
Hmm.
Is a great strategy.
Good.
Then they go, okay, how's today's Monday? How's Thursday? We book it for Thursday. Maybe we meet at coffee. If they're not in my market, maybe we do it on Zoom. So I'll leverage my upline, and what I'll say is, I can explain it to you, Kathy. I'm kind of new to this, and it's a little clunky for me, but I think we could spend a couple of hours. So let's take 2 hours on Thursday, and I'll give you everything I got. And your brain's gonna think, 2 hours? And while your brain's thinking that, I go, you know what? I got another idea. This guy that I work with, Sean, he's been here. He's way better than I am. He can probably do it in 20 minutes. He's
Hmm.
he's bad to the bone. Would you be opposed to me inviting Sean to have him do it? Because he'll do a better job than I do it.
Hmm.
So I set up the three-way call. And then I like to have him watch Brent Gove's model explained so that Sean doesn't have to explain the whole model. So I'll go, so that we get the most out of our time with Sean. He's really busy. I'll confirm the meeting. I'm going to give
Hmm.
you a video to watch. It's 40 minutes. It'll give you an overview of splits and caps, equity, other sources of income, cost savings. It'll really answer a lot of your preliminary questions, and then we can get on the call with Sean. So you don't have to do anything, Kathy. You just need to introduce them, and I'm assuming that you're their sponsors or you're in their upline.
Yeah. Which is also so good because now you're teaching them that, I think
Hmm.
sometimes what holds people back is like, oh my gosh, I'm not a presenter. I'm not going to be doing the
Yep.
presenting. So if you're just showing them the roadmap of how they get somebody else on there to present, like, is gold right there.
Guys, I'm capable of presenting the model now. I've been
Yeah.
here for a few years, and
Mhm.
I leverage my upline.
Great.
Follow the process. Hey, Kathy, you're from Nashville?
Yes.
Anchor down, lady.
Tell me, we're actually, I mean, it's freezing today, but yeah, yesterday all weekend it's been the ice storm and 233,000 people without power. We were out all day till last night. So thankfully we're back. But yeah, so I think the weather's passed now, the melting and, they've
No, I
got
mean
16 hours.
anchor down. My son played football at Vanderbilt.
Oh, shoot. Come
And
on.
are you not a? Are you?
No, I'm a big Vol fan. Come on.
Well, we got the best of you this year.
Vanderbilt they did amazing this year though. Come on, they did great.
Hey, real quick, we got 5 minutes left. Alice asked, could we do a follow-up about stacking the future? Alice, elaborate real quick. Jump on if you wouldn't mind.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. We got you.
Hey, I just think this is fascinating about the stacking questions But then I thought it was pretty fascinating about the stacking future, talking to other agents. I'm brand new, so I'm just kind of learning, but I liked the way that that Kathy mentioned that the Chinese menu, but it's just kind of helpful to kind of be able to take it a little bit past what he has said and go to the next level of it. So I just thought that was kind of neat.
So, well, I'll do one better for you. Is that Alice? I'll do one
Yeah.
better, Alice. I have that written. Is anybody surprised that I have that process written out in a process?
Ah,
So I'll share that process. I'll share that process with Sean.
awesome.
After the call, he can distribute it to you all. I'll also share a training I did with my group on those 5
Mm,
elements so that you can watch it, study it, and
mm.
the stacking is in there.
Oh, that would be awesome. Thank you.
And then you don't have to wait to, and I'm happy to do another call with you guys in the future, but this will give you immediate gratification and you can look at it this afternoon.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank
And
you.
I love what you said about duplication happens when the person you're sharing it with realizes that what you did, they can do. Kind of like Kathy said, if you don't have to present it, be the one trying to answer the questions, get them to watch a video, get them on a three-way. I'm one of them. Kelly, Kathy, there's a bunch of us, got all the leaders here, but excellent. Thank you for laying that out and being willing to give all that to us is just incredible. So you being a huge coach is again, a blessing, guys, that we're getting this kind of information. So take advantage of it. Again, we'll put it on our Facebook site, but we got about 3 minutes. Anybody got another pressing question you'd love to hear from Brian or ask Brian? Nada? Wow. Wow, wow,
Great
wow.
stuff. Great stuff,
Well,
Brian. Hey, I'll
I
ask.
go ahead. Go ahead. We got Joe real quick, Kathy.
Well,
Go ahead,
Sean,
Joe.
I'll ask
ahead.
real quick too.
I
So,
also have a question.
Okay.
am I up?
Yeah,
Okay.
go ahead, Joe.
So, Brian, thank you so much for everything. Just a beautiful presentation. On a daily, I guess boiling it all the way back down is what does an agent need to do today to make their phone calls, and what practices do you use that way? Understand once you've got somebody on the phone what you're doing, but what are your disciplines? Do you make 5 calls a day, or what actually do you do, Brian?
Yeah, okay. So really great question. I'll give you a framework. You have to have really big goals. You have to have goals because what I do is going to be to pursue my goals. So depending on your goals, Joe, I would answer the question differently, possibly. But number one, get clear on your goals. Number two, know what you're measuring, your key performance indicators. So start to pay attention. In order to have an agent join your FLA, that's a key performance indicator, right? The number of agents you get on your front line. But in order to get an agent on your front line, you have to have a bunch of three-way calls. So do you need three-way calls to get one agent on? Maybe you plan on that. I need to have three-way calls to get one to join. So now you can reverse engineer into it based on your goals. In order to have a three-way call, how many one-on-one conversations do you need to have to schedule a three-way call? So that would be number two. So goals, KPIs, then create a plan. Let's say that you need to have you 15 people a month to get your FLAs to join, whatever that is. So if it's 15 people a month that you need to do three-way calls with and you need to do 45, put that into a schedule. So for me, I have time allocated to make my new contacts, new meaningful conversations in my schedule. And then I just execute my schedule, not because I'm disciplined, not because I'm motivated, but because I'm obsessed. Hope that helps.
Thank you. Yes, sir, it does.
Mm. Time blocking and stick to it. Somebody else had another question real quick. Who was that?
I do, Maria.
Yeah, go ahead, Maria.
So I was just wondering, because I'm very new with real estate, as you know, Sean, and I was just wondering, how do you analyze the agent's performance? Like, what is it that triggers you to call them? Is it a certain amount of production a year? How do you approach that?
Oh, that's awesome. So I think it's dependent on who your ideal client profile is. So marketing is like fishing. If we were going to go fishing, we'd decide before we got in the boat what kind of fish we're fishing for. So I think you need to think about, who do you want to be associated with? Do you like new agents? Do you like experienced agents? For me, I break it down this way. And now my way may not be your ideal. I might like tuna and you might like bluefish. So, but I'll share with you mine, the way that I prioritize it. Who's an influencer? I like to be around other people that are like-minded, right? They're positive, they're optimistic, they're obsessed, they're go-getters. If I meet those people, we're going to become fast buddies. So I want to talk to influencers. They don't even need to be in production. The second priority is icon agents. I love icon agents. They're go-getters. They're smart. They're ambitious. They're hungry. So I identify, what does it require to be an icon agent in my market or in a market, and I go after those people. Also, side note, if an icon agent sees this opportunity, they generally join. 3 out of 4 join, which is a really great statistic, because they're business minded, they're not emotional, they make decisions based on numbers and cents, they're smart. So I like icon agents. And the third one is cappers. Okay, because the only way I'm going to get paid on revenue share is if they sell real estate. So for me, I'm not going to turn away a new agent who's ambitious, hungry, because they'll grow into a capping agent in the future, but they're not my target. So you gotta, are we going deer hunting or are we going raccoon hunting? And if you're out in the woods, and I don't hunt, but this is a good metaphor, if we're deer hunting and a skunk goes walking by your tree stand, you don't shoot the skunk. So I'm very intentional that the people I reach out to fall into those 3 categories. They're bucks, they're does, they're deer, right? Like influencers, icon agents, and cappers for me.
That's awesome.
Excellent. Yeah.
And
Thank you.
Maria, and for all of you here, again, if you're going to really start attracting right now, right? I love everything he's laid out. We'll put all that stuff on our Facebook group again. Get on Thursday. Kelly and that was on here earlier, and Eric Golden will be there as you start to make your calls, as you start to do things to approach agents. Get on Thursdays. It's more of a Q&A, a role play. How do I reply to this? This is what happened when I made this call. It's all about that on Thursday. Monday, come learn from people like Brian. Start doing what you're going to do. Show up on Thursday. Let us help you, get some Q&A, get some direction. How do I reply to this? That kind of thing. So, Brian, I know we're past the hour. Everybody for showing up this morning. Thank you. Thank you. Please come on Mondays, guys. If you truly want 2026 to be the year that I'm sure you want it to, take advantage of all the things we're learning from some of the biggest attractors in the company. This is an incredible opportunity for all of us. Brian, would you like me to send you over the recording when I got it?
That'd be cool. And I put my social media name in there so you can follow me on social. You can check out some of the free training we have on my website, brianmoses.com, for production. And if you're looking for a coach or you see the value or benefit in a coach, I'd love to apply for the opportunity to work with you. You can reach out through my website and we can schedule a call.
That is awesome. And thank you so much, bro, for being willing to send over to me. And I'll share that on our Facebook group, guys.
I'll
The
do it right
breakdown
now.
he had. That is awesome, man. Thank you. Thank you, Brian. Thank you for all of you for showing up.